This is KATU News at 6 on your side.
Just into the KATU newsroom tonight, the Multnomah County Task Force has been called in to fight the Bootleg fire in southern Oregon. We have learned the fire has doubled in size. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Kissel. Portland, Gresham, and Corbett Fire are all part of the Multnomah County Task Force. They will be heading down to Klamath County, where the Bootleg fire is growing. It's now burning more than 76,000 acres. Crews are still trying to get a handle on it. Right now, there is zero containment, and there is still a level 3 go now evacuation in effect for nearby towns. As of Friday, the wildfire has threatened nearly 3,000 homes. And the Jack fire in Douglas County has also doubled in size overnight. It's now burning 9,000 acres, and it's about 10% contained right now. Crews are working on securing more lines. Investigators are also working to determine the cause of both of those fires. We want to get to KATU's Joe English, who's checking out these wildfires and the smoke and the conditions out there as well. Joe.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of questions from viewers saying we've seen some haze in the metro area, the Cascades. Is that wildfire smoke? Well, mainly along the northern Cascades, you are just seeing that. So let's take a look from our standard camera in downtown Portland, zoomed in on Mount Hood. It's a little hazy up there, but that's the worst that we're going to see here. For your evening around the metro area, we're in the mid-80s right now. We'll be around 80 degrees at 8 o'clock and drop into the 70s after sunset with the northwest wind. And that's key for us in keeping that smoke away, because you can see what's covering most of Oregon and a good portion of eastern Washington as well. Right down to the bottom of your screen, that's the Jack fire, the big one. Look at the smoke that it is just pouring out through the afternoon, being picked up on our visible satellite picture. Most of that heading out into southeast Oregon, but that's going to swirl around a bit overnight. But there again, a look at the winds over the northwestern portion of Oregon, southwest Washington, pushing that smoke away. Into tomorrow morning, the Rogue Valley gets a lot of smoke, so there are air quality issues there and off to the east side of Oregon. But here's what you can expect for your Sunday. Portland, Vancouver. A few clouds in the morning, more to the north of Portland, more sunshine to the south, but sunny in the afternoon. And another warmer than average day. We're going to be back into the mid-80s for a pretty nice weekend for you. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up in your complete forecast in about 10 minutes.
We'll see you then, Joe. Thank you. Wildfire mitigation is nothing new for Pacific Power. The company says it's constantly bringing in new technology to strengthen its systems against wildfires. The company's meteorologist also checks weather patterns and how it could impact the power system. As far as emergency power shutoff, Pacific Power says it would be the last resort.
Red flag is one component, but it's also there's a lot of things kind of above and beyond a red flag warning that we would consider, and that is drought index, ambient moisture in the air.
Pacific Power says it has not performed a power shutoff in Oregon, but they did last year in California that lasted for about 8 hours.
It's looking like in the fall, face coverings will be optional for all students on campus next year.
At least one Oregon school district seems ready to drop mask requirements for students coming into school. The Estacada School District is the first to tell us it is preparing to make the change. This week, the CDC released new guidance saying that vaccinated students and staff members do not need to wear masks. Still, the choice will likely be up to individual school districts. KATU's Wright Gazaway is live at the PPS district office tonight. And Wright, we are still waiting to find out if the state's largest district will be making the change on masks.
We are, Catherine. There will likely be some time before Portland public school leaders announce any change. However, the state's draft plans for the next school year leave that decision and any decision about health and safety measures to the local school districts. Folks in Estacada seem ready to take advantage.
All students in the Estacada School District will likely be in the classroom 5 days a week next school year. Following a year with only a couple days of in-person learning each week, this is good news for a lot of students and parents. However, bigger questions remain about just what kind of health and safety guidelines will be in place. For the last year, Oregon Governor Kate Brown and the state's Department of Education have maintained state control over those decisions. Next year, the state is ready to give the power back to local leaders. In Estacada, their draft plan allows for optional mask wearing. A district spokesperson says it will not check vaccine status. They're waiting on more input from teachers, students, and families before making definite plans. Still, at least some guidelines will be in place.
We always take a Swiss cheese approach, what we call it, overlapping lots of things to fill the holes, so we feel like we have a lot of rigorous safety protocols in place that we're excited to continue with next year.
The district says it will likely continue with contact tracing methods and pre-screening of students and staff. They'll also still encourage people who don't feel well to stay home.
Back here live, the new CDC guidance is getting a mixed reaction from Oregonians. Some people are weary about dropping masks so early in the pandemic with variants and some concerns about the vaccination levels of students. You can read that reaction on KATU.com. Live in North Portland, Wright Gazaway, KATU News.
Right, thank you.